The Flash's triumphant entrance on the big screen has left fans with an avalanche of emotions. But one character stands out among them all: the Dark Flash. This sinister version of DC icon Barry Allen has left many viewers scratching their heads. Why did the younger Barry transform into the Dark Flash, and what does his appearance mean for the future of the DC Extended Universe? And for more videos from the DC Universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Our friendly Scarlet Speedster, Barry Allen, is known for his optimism and undeniable sense of duty, doing all he can to protect the innocent from the dangers of Central City and beyond. But the Flash movie introduces us to an entity that challenges everything we knew about our hero. A future version of Barry himself, marked by tragedy and obsession, turned into a dark and fearsome character. An anti-hero who is not afraid to cross lines that Barry would never cross. The first moment in which we see the Dark Flash is when Barry travels for the first time to try to stop what happened to his mother in the past. At first, it looks like a demonic figure or a shadow that tries to chase the speedster. The existence of the Dark Flash raises a number of disturbing questions. How did this altered version of Barry come to be? What does his presence mean for the state of the Speed Force and the other timelines Barry has crossed? And perhaps the most intriguing of all, what does the Dark Flash tell us about Barry Allen himself and his hero's journey? In the Flash movie, the Dark Flash is introduced as a future incarnation of Barry Allen, who has been corrupted by his obsession with time travel and his desire to change the past. Through his interactions with the Dark Flash, Barry faces the consequences of his constant manipulation of the Speed Force and time. The Dark Flash is a reflection of Barry's own fears and doubts about his actions, and the price he might have to pay for messing with time. The presence of the Dark Flash in the film raises a number of exciting possibilities for future films. On one hand, it could mean the appearance of other dark speedsters in future films, perhaps even the comics' fearsome version of Zoom. It also suggests that Barry will have to face the consequences of his actions, which could lead to personal growth and character development. The Dark Flash is a Barry without limits. A physical manifestation of his internal struggle and the dangerous path he can take by letting his obsession take control. This provides valuable psychological insight into the character of Barry Allen. It demonstrates the destructive potential of obsession and guilt, and how even the bravest heroes can fall if they fail to come to terms with their past. Barry's obsessions, specifically his fixation on changing the past and saving his mother, have forged a monster. Being the Dark Flash, he sees himself free of the boundaries that normally govern his actions as a hero, allowing him to explore extremes that the original Barry would refuse to consider. And it is precisely this absence of limits that leads him down a dangerous path of self-destruction and chaos. This provides significant insight into the psychology of Barry Allen. It makes us confront the reality that even the most noble can fall if they allow their obsessions to control their actions. The guilt he feels for not being able to save his mother has led him to become a version of himself who is willing to defy the laws of reality and morality to achieve what he believes is right. Possibly, the Dark Flash spent over 30 years stuck in the loop, trying to stop the other version of Barry from letting his mother die, and simultaneously, trying to save Supergirl and Batman. The Dark Flash serves as a somber warning of what can happen if we don't learn to reconcile with our past. Despite his superpowers and heroism, Barry is not immune to the pitfalls of obsession and guilt. Without resolution, these emotions can lead him, and anyone else, down a path of destruction and despair. Even turn him into a villain. Now, let's imagine a scenario for the next Flash movie, where these themes come to life. With the precedent set for the Dark Flash, the next movie could feature Barry dealing with the effects of his time travel and facing off against other dark speedsters. Potential villains could include characters like Reverse Flash or even the Black Flash from the comics. Speedsters that represent darkness and death. One particularly intriguing idea would be a plot based on the Flashpoint Paradox comic book. In this arc, Barry travels back in time to save his mother, but in the process, dramatically alters the timeline and creates a dark, dystopian alternate universe. This narrative arc has already been partially explored in the Flash movie but could be further developed in future films. The Flash movie, while inspired by Flashpoint Paradox, did not use several important storylines such as the female Joker or Thomas Wayne, so we could still see these scenes in a future movie, where Flash tries to reverse what happened in this one. Another possible avenue for future Flash movies could be a deeper exploration of the multiverse. With the appearance of George Clooney's version of Batman in the Flash movie, it's clear that DC is willing to explore the idea of the multiverse. Barry could find himself dealing with the consequences of his actions across multiple timelines and universes, battling various dark versions of himself and other DC heroes and villains. In the Flash finale, the Dark Flash sacrificed himself by causing his own death, avoiding becoming that dark version of himself. But this doesn't mean we won't see this version again in the future, as we've seen Reverse Flash die several times in the comics, but return. One way the Dark Flash could return is that it could be an earlier version than the final one. We know that the Dark Flash, who loses his life, has been on a loop in the Speed Force for about 30 years, trying to change the past. Perhaps in one of those attempts, he traveled to the future where he confronted Barry again. That's the interesting thing about Flash stories, which is that they don't happen in a linear fashion. But tell me, what are your thoughts on the Dark Flash story, and how it will affect the future of DC? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You're on the Oasis Geek.